rotating too much unless that's my intent. Okay. Now she's not very big, so it's easy for me to get both arms, or get my arm under there and get both arms. Some people you're gonna have a hard time getting both legs up on.
Let's do one at a time. Hey, no.
You know, we don't really, if we were doing it one at a time, you're doing lumbar flexion, or you're doing hip flexion. So if you really want to do lumbar flexion, you got to do both at the same time. So if I'm a little tiny person, you know, sometimes it's hard for me to get up there. I can try this way, or I can try this way. To be honest, a lot of times, if they're not in a bed, they're on a mat or a table, I'll actually get up on the table with them and do both at the same time. And I'll just tell them, look, I got to climb up there on the table with you because to save my back, it keeps my back, me from hurting myself to do this. So I've been known to do them this way. All right, so that was lumbar flexion. And then they teach me lumbar rotation, right? I don't want to turn over on the back yet.
Yeah, rotation.
Okay, so I'm gonna have her bend this leg up, put it across to the other side. My hand's on her greater trochanter there a little bit. And then I can stretch her.
So you're pushing with your elbow more?
I'm using my elbow mostly. And then you see this hand up here to keep her trunk from rotating with me, right? So I'm put most of that pressure there, but I'm guiding, I'm holding under a greater trochanter. I got to block this because if someone's really stiff, they're just going to do that number and you didn't really stretch them. And I sit down, you see how I'm sitting down? I'm using my body weight to stretch her. I'm not trying to do it with my arms. Okay. Some people can stretch them across this way too. So, I can try to do it from either side. Depends on how strong you are, how long the person is, and what kind of table you're on. So I can hold her down here and push her across there. What I have to be careful of is that she's not going to feel like I'm going to roll her off on the floor. There's advantages to both sides, to be in this direction or to doing it the other way. So sometimes you might have to move sides. You know, if I'm short and I have short arms and I'm a woman and this is a guy, do I really want to be down here sticking my chest in their face? So it's going to be multifactorial. That's a good phrase, isn't it? All right, so we've done rotation. Yes, it's a junction of some sort, I'm sure.
I'm not going to let it get
Thoracic.
So that was more lumbar. Now we're going to do the thoracic rotation. And I'm going to get my hand up under here. And I'm going to pull here. And now I'm going to say, tell her, warn her beforehand, hey, to do this, I'm going to put one hand under here and I'm going to reach, grab, and it's going to be a little close. So I'm going to get my hand under there. And then I'm going to support her head, but all the pressure's coming on her trunk. Try to stretch that. And I don't want her to feel like I'm swooping in to kiss her.
It stretches right across the thoracic, right in the middle of the spine, it stretches across the thoracic area.
You want to practice stretching both ways because it's going to feel more awkward one way than it does the other. So, and I'd like her to try to relax her head. It might be a little bit. A lot of people kind of let you. Okay, so we've done lumbar, flexion, rotation, thoracic, rotation, and all I haven't done is the extension. This is the hardest one. All right, can I get you on your tummy? And here, I'm going to try to bend both knees up and get my arm under both legs and lift both legs at the same time. Okay. Hand is a little tiny person, so it's not as hard. So that's lumbar extension.
I'm glad I volunteered for this.
You're doing so beautifully.
Flex, and that's lumbar extend.
Okay, so
So keep the
if
knees.
that's done on a heavy person,
It's going to be really hard.
That's why they said we need.
can we?
I've been known to do this.
Okay.
I've been known to grab somebody else and say,
Yeah, see if they could pair
Yeah.
up. That's what I was gonna ask, if,
I'm gonna get my friend Leanne to help a little bit with this one. And so
couldn't they
Leanne's gonna
each
come
do
over
one
here.
leg and just try and go at the same rate?
So here we go. Go ahead and grab her leg like this. And I'm gonna hold it. We're gonna look on three. 1, 2, 3, nice and slow.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
Feels really good.
I needed that for my workout. Getting a massage today.
That's where I feel.
If I was wanting her to, the other thing I've done to people sometimes that I couldn't get lifted up is maybe I'll do it the other way. So I want you to try to keep these bones glued to the table, and I want you to start to do a push-up. Okay, I'm getting the same basic stretch. If she's got the upper body strength
That's the lumbar.
to help
To
me.
lift herself.
That's getting lumbar extension too.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's harder for me to get her to relax sometimes because I want to get things to relax while I do that, but that's an option too. All right? So, I have also, can you go ahead and on your back for me one more time? I will sometimes, especially if I'm doing it from the table, I'll do my lumbar rotation that way too, so I can do both legs of rotation. Now it's not in the book. I could begin it down here with both knees up. I've been known to have to reach up here though and hold down that arm while I do it.
And your patients are looking like, what are you doing? I'd be that patient that's just like, oh.
I don't usually get that reaction. I get people that make fun of me because I sit on my feet. So when they see me sitting up on a table like this, it's not that I'm sitting up on the table, it's that I'm
On your feet.
sitting on my feet. That freaks them out. So you can try that too with your lumbar rotation if you just can't lift it. But this one's probably the more effective most of the time to go that way. All right, stretch the people.
Would you go both ways?